that a thing? What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here. Great to have you all here for SPJ Live. We're back in the saddle. I'm not going to Comic-Con tomorrow, so we're here to have some fun. Apologies for the sound of the fan in the background of the audio tonight. It's hot here, and I need to stay cool. This room gets really hot. Oh, there we go. Gotta move this around, get a little comfortable. How's everybody doing out there tonight, huh? All right, we got some people watching right now. Looks like we got eight people going on. Ben, thank you for the tip on raising the vocal mic. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Pardon me. Got to get to my mixer software. I usually have it up really high, but today I noticed over the last couple weeks it was distorting in the on the meters on my interface, so I didn't want to distort too much. You're getting a little bit of my my fan in the background, but hopefully it's not, hopefully it's not too distracting. Been messing around with this a little bit. I'll figure something out. Oh, it's good to see some of you guys. Of course, we got some of our usual suspects in the house, my blue wrenched friends and Nam buddies. Oh, it was so cute. My Nam buddies, Ben Coombs and Aaron Lee of Albus Band. Boys, great to have you back in the saddle with me, as always, and having you watch. We got Jasco Plumbing Supply in the house tonight. Jasco Plumbing Supply, thank you for joining in the festivities. Appreciate having you here. Mickey Settlemeyer in the house. Mickey, hope you're having a good night as well. We also have Brian Landreth, who is joining us on a drive tonight. Brian, stay safe out on the road there. Jay Steen is in the house. And then let's see who else we got going on here. Thought I saw somebody else I need to acknowledge. I guess that's everybody. Everybody for now, at least. Guitar Hack is in the house. Guitar Hack, how are you, my friend? Good to have you all here. It's quite an amazing little thing today. As the title of this whole live show for tonight is titled, today, officially 10 years ago, was the first day I uploaded a demo video to YouTube. And it only occurred to me maybe about 2 weeks ago when I was working on the Pedal Baby video that went up today. Apologies again for the fiasco with the premiere. It's the first time that I'm actually working with that premiere. It didn't really work out as well as I had hoped it would. However, I'm glad that some of you guys were able to catch that video. And in a few hours, it's been performing quite well. I had a great time with that video. It was pretty easy. Aaron, I did see your comment earlier about how free feeling it seemed like I was coming across, and it's very true. Like, there are certain products where you can just immediately tell that it's no effort. Product demos are always going to require some kind of effort, but that was fairly easy, and it was more of, once I kind of got that whole I made the BioShock reference of dies, died, will die. When I got that idea in my head, it made me think I should really kind of focus first on what the Pedal Baby isn't rather than what it is, because there is a lot of confusion about it out there today. So I'm hoping that this video was able to answer a lot of the questions, show you guys what it can do, how good it can sound, and just all in all be a cool piece of kit. Yeah, I'm glad that you guys were able to see that, and Look at who decided to show his face. Quentin James in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Things are about to get weird. Nah, I'm just joking. Hey, Master Sterna in the house. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So yeah, it was so weird when I realized it. I knew that anniversary was coming up pretty quickly. The calendar is still on July because it's still on July, people. But yeah, I didn't realize that anniversary was coming up so quickly. It was very very weird in a way. Just to think like holy shit, like this has been 10 years of my life where I've had this channel with something on it that people are watching and that people are, you know, interacting with and enjoying. We'll get into, you know, some of the weeds of like my history on YouTube, and we'll also I'll talk to you guys a little bit about the plans that I have going forward, sort of to commemorate this 10 years, because there's some fun stuff that we can do. But yeah, it's just so crazy to think that I've been doing it for this long, and it's a lot of hard work. And I know Ben and I talk quite frequently about the work that goes into maintaining these channels and committing to doing these videos. And I think that, you know, he's got a really good thing going. He's definitely committed to it, and you know, you really got to give it up to him, man. He's a big time. He's a small time player, but he's a big time player, and that he's really committed to it, and I applaud him greatly for that. Rick Hefner in the house. Rick, welcome to the show, my friend. Glad to have you. You get an acoustic one. Sorry. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Like when I think back on it, of all the stuff that I've done, the things that I have that are directly related to just being committed to it. It's a lot of fun. And I have you guys, you know, we get to hang out every week like this. We do some cool stuff. We see some cool gear. And as Ben just said, you know, we're in it together. And I agree, you know, despite the fact, which huge thank you to everybody for the 5,000 subscribers. I don't know if I've said it enough yet, but it really does mean a lot that I have 5,000 of you guys watching and subscribing and coming back and watching the videos. It really does mean a lot, because the more people that get behind what I do and more people get behind what Ben does, the better kind of content we can make. And it's all about, you know, making content for you guys so that you feel like you learn something and you feel like you get something out of, you know, watching us talk gear on end for hours on end. For some reason, you guys like that, so it's awesome. And, you know, Guitar Hack is another guy. He's got his thing going on, and we need to, you know, have this community of guys that we can share ideas, but we don't steal each other's ideas. We can encourage each other. We can, you know, be a part of this community, and it's pretty awesome. You know, when you guys come here, all I ask is that treat each other with the same kind of respect you would want shown to yourself. And keep an open mind, and remember that every piece of gear that I demo, you're not going to like. But at the very least, by the time that you finish watching the video, you'll at least feel like you learned something, and you'll be appreciative of that. These things take a lot of work and a lot of time, hours sitting in this studio. It's crazy. So it's nice to be able to, you know, get to that point. John Holzer in the house, everybody. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, buddy. You all right? playing around with the wah again. Thank you, Jasco. I appreciate that. So some of the things that I kind of kicking around in my head about this whole 10-year anniversary celebration is I really do want to carry it through, you know, the entire year, where we can kind of look back at things, kind of how they were then, maybe delving into some things that I wasn't able to do back then. I do have some videos that have never seen the light of day, so I might even go back into those archives and we can, you know, watch some of those along together. We can talk about them, why they never got released, or why you've never seen them in the first place. That might be something interesting for us to explore, because I try to save my final products of just about everything I do, and I'm pretty stoked on that. Are those STP chords? I don't know, Quentin. They might be. They certainly are big enough to, you know. We have the lovely Amanda joining us in the house. Hello. They're somebody's chords, but they're mine for now. Before we get into any sort of weeds about talking other stuff too, so you guys know what I'm playing through tonight, I saw that Matt had a question about the guitar. The guitar is my Ramos Atlas C. I dubbed it the Black Rider when I first got it, and now I'm just calling it the Nazgul, mainly due to the fact that it's got a Seymour Duncan Nazgul in the bridge and a Sentient in the neck. Really just designed it to be this like modern metal kind of, you know, really heavy tone kind of guitar, really cutting. So I'm playing that through my rocker verb. I got a drive pedal on the floor. It's an analog audio class wave function overdrive, which just turned into the classic overdrive. So I'm using their N2 clipping chip. I got the DJ Ashba skeleton wah, and then all the other effects like verb and echo and EQ are all coming from the Waza Tube amp expander. So it's stuff that I've programmed into that patch. But, you know, just by itself, dirty channel. And now I'll go ahead, turn on the wave function. And then you heard the echo and that wah at the beginning. That's the fuck shit up tone right there. I've been kind of like trying to figure out if the wave function's gonna go up on the chopping block and you know, get sold off. But I'm liking it today, so it's probably going to stay. A being that right now, not right now, between the angle alpha drive and the wave function. Just trying to figure out which one works best. They both have things about it that I love to death. But it really all depends on the guitar that I have plugged in. So right now, like, it really does work with this. The N2 chip, clipping chip that Nanolog makes, that has a more, like, you know, squishy kind of compression to it, and it's a little like softer and grittier. But if I want something that's a little bit more aggressive in its gain structure and its EQ structure, the alpha drive is doing it just a little bit better. But that's not to say that this doesn't work too. There we go. Those are the damn harmonics. Yeah. It's working. And all the gain and the clean stuff, it's all the rocker verb, man. Just kind of cheating a little bit with the EQ from the tube amp expander, and using the Nanolog for just a little bit of grit, some tone shaping on the preamp end. Has me really wondering if the OD20 that Boss just came out with is going to be in my future. More souls have joined in. Gussie Wells, Will Varela, and Phil Mosley Music. Guys, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining in the fun tonight. We've been having just a little bit of fun, haven't we? Wish I had a chorus right now. Janice in the house as well. Janice, thank you for joining in. Let's see. need a little bit of a maybe a compressor for that might be good. Ah, hell. Who cares? Oh, man. It's good to have you guys. This is fun. I'm already enjoying myself already. So, before we, you know, keep going on about this whole 10 years thing, blah, 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 I wanted to share something cool with you guys. Because this is something that I've really believed in for quite some time. And there's been very few opportunities for you guys here in North America, mainly the United States, just because, you know, international shipping is still international shipping. But I want to, I'm finally getting the opportunity to kind of, you know, clue you guys in and get something in your hands that I've really wanted to be able to get into your hands. So for those of you who may remember and may have watched, just real quick, I saw some questions floating in, and I see one that Ben just posted. For the questions, Aaron, Ben, would you guys just help me real quick and try to just copy and paste those back in so I don't miss them in like 5 minutes or so? I just want to tell everybody about this first, and I know I saw a few. If you could help me out with that, that would be great. So in my top 10 pedals of 2018, I got this. It was the Toxic Fuzz from Retrohead Effects. It was a fuzz pedal made in Argentina by a company called Retrohead Effects, obviously. And it really blew me away. It blew me away because it was such a good package. It was such a cool thing to put together, and the tones just sounded phenomenal. There's so much that you can do with this pedal. I love what these guys are doing, and they're doing some really cool stuff. The packaging is really awesome. I'm going to open it up so you see what you get. But man, it is hard for anybody else to get. I got lucky. They just happened to have one in stock and built and ready to go to send me to do a demo of. If you haven't checked that out, please do. It's on the channel. I believe it's even in the, like, if it's their first time on my channel playlist. So we've been talking, and as of right now, I have 2 of these. Brand new, just built, in the boxes, ready to go, and I'm offering them to you guys first. So we've been going back and forth about what this is going to cost and what this is going to be, because obviously they need to make money, and they're nice enough to want to give me a cut of it as well. But it's a really, really awesome little, and it's quite big, fuzz box. I know Matt Cisterna has one, and he loves it. He's even commenting on it right now. But we've been trying to figure out a way that they can make the money that they need to make and keep the business going, at the same time as they want to be able to give me something for my trouble in helping them do this, but also something that makes it seem like it's a value. Now, the way that I see it is, I think that this is very easily worth, and I personally would pay $200 for something like this. And I'm going to open it up to kind of do a little unboxing for you so you can see how everything comes, and then you guys can decide if that is something that you think is worth that price. And I'm offering that to you guys first at this price. So, box custom printed with the pedals artwork on the cardboard, which is something that not a whole lot of people are doing, full color printing of their boxes. Opening it up, you're first greeted with your, you have certificate of warranty with your serial number, the model, and basically who tested this. It is all in Spanish, but I will be happy to translate everything in Spanish into English for you. And if you buy one of these, I'll send you the English PDF for you to be able to, do your thing with. What I've liked about this, first and foremost, is the fact that if you have no idea where to start, they give you a really good idea of where to start with their, if I can get it out of the little bag, there we go. They give you a pretty good idea of where to start with their Manual de Uso, or user manual. Obviously, it's in Spanish. Like I said, I will send you a PDF of the English translation should you pick one up. Then you have a whole 12 different presets that you can dial in to kind of get yourself started. And they generally all sound pretty damn good. It's like the guy who came up with the presets actually played the pedal. And they all sound really cool. And as a matter of fact, I think we even may have done a few of these presets in the demo. But even cooler is they include 3 recall sheets for you to be able to write down your own presets. So if you say, see if I can get that in camera. I don't know if that's really showing up, but it's got all the knobs and all the switches on it, and you can write down how exactly you want to set the sounds. So already having a good instruction manual, some cool presets to get you started, and recall sheets for your own is pretty cool. Then we take the pedal out. Comes in a really cool red pedal sock. The branding on this thing is on point. Everything is tied together. And then this is the whole package. The Toxic Fuzz. This was my number 5 pick, I believe, from last year. This is serial number 363, made in Argentina, by hand by these guys. And it's just so cool. They really have done their homework to make a really cool, playable fuzz pedal. So I thought it might be kind of fun to just plug it in for a little bit and mess around with it and really show you guys what this thing can do, even though the demo's out there. So if you want to just go watch the demo. But it can run on 9 to 12 volts, and it sounds pretty friggin' awesome. So, whoa, kind of hit my hat right there. That was weird. Turn off the delay. Just with I don't know where the knobs really are right now, but let's just start. give you an idea of what this thing sounds like, just, you know, messing around. So what we want to do, me and the guys at Retrohead, is we want to offer this to you guys. Will, you want this with the wah? Okay, I'll do that right after this. What we want is we want to offer this to you guys in the greater North America area, because obviously I'm in California, and it's a little easier to ship these things to the United States domestically, and Canada, depending on where you go. But we want to offer them up to you. And we want you guys to buy them. We want you to play them. And we want you to enjoy them. So we're going to be offering these for $200. If you are interested in them at all, I'm planning on putting them up on Reverb sometime next week. If before then you like this enough and you want to see if one of these two are available, you can email me. My email is pretty easy to find on the YouTube page, so please do go look for that. Look it up. And we will ship this to you, along with a couple cool little extras that I can throw in for you guys from my end. Some buttons, maybe some picks, something like that. Just a little thank you for doing this. And if you're feeling frosty enough, and if you really want it that bad, I will sign it for you if you want. Not saying that any of you are going to want it signed, but if you really want it signed, I'll sign it for you. But it's a lot of fun. It's a great sounding fuzz pedal, and I really believe in what these guys are doing. I think they're making some of the coolest effects pedals out there today. They've got a couple other ones that I really want to get my hands on, and hopefully we'll be able to do that in the very near future. As a matter of fact, I think that we will be able to. So I'm going to go plug this back in. I'm going to try it with the wah. Got to move everything around, you know. Okay. Oh, there we go. So that's wah into fuzz. So yeah, if you want one of these guys, I got 2 of them right now. Everything you'll get $200 shipped to you, no shipping. I'll send this to you. If you want it signed, I'll sign it. I'll translate the manual into English for you so that you know exactly what you're doing. There's also the demo video that I made of this so that you can reference that as well. If there's anything else that you would like, I'll throw in some buttons for you. I'll throw some picks in for you as well. I guarantee that I'm not going to have stickers by the time these things sell. So you can email me. Let me know you're interested. We'll work everything out, and we can have a lot of fun with it. So please show some support for these guys, and you can support me indirectly as well. But I really believe in these guys. They're really making a cool product. They're making something unique. And even though it looks a little complicated, once you get your hands on it, and once you get really understanding it, doesn't take a whole lot, you're going to find that you're playing with a lot of different cool sounds. And it doesn't just do fuzz. It can do some really cool, like warm overdrive, gooey kind of sounds as well. So think about it, and hope you guys will be interested in that coming up. I'm going to plug back in the Nanolog. All right. So I saw some questions earlier on in the chat, and I want to make sure that I actually see these, because there were quite a few that I could actually answer. It's been a little, guys have been going all over the place with the chat, but I like it. I like that you guys are interested. Okay, I think I found some. Okay, Guitar Hack had a really funny question earlier on. What's the worst gear I ever demoed? Well, Guitar Hack, I have a thing where if gear is really that bad, I just don't waste my time. Because this is something that requires a lot of time to do, it's like, it doesn't do me any favors to have a video where I just blast something completely, and it doesn't do the companies any favor if that video is out there as well. So if something's really that bad, I won't bother with it. Having said that, probably one of the, I wouldn't say it's the worst. It's worst in the terms of the most underwhelming piece of equipment that I've ever demoed. But also from the standpoint of the way that the company did business. So I had gotten contacted by the company XVive, some girl working at the company reached out to me and said, we want you to do demos of our stuff. And basically they wanted me to purchase it through their Amazon store. And they were only going to give me like a 50% off coupon. So I was actually going to have to buy the stuff to demo. And when it comes to these Chinese pedals, I don't buy them. And full disclosure, I don't buy a lot of the stuff that I get for demos. They're usually sent to me. And if it's anything larger, it's usually on loan. But the gear is usually payment if it's not money exchange. I usually get the product for free. So it's like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't take demos that are solicited from me and, spend my own money on something that I'm not necessarily guaranteed to like. So they agreed to send me a 99% off coupon, which should have already been, a big red flag. Long story short, I got 2 pedals from them. I got the Tube Squasher or something like that. It was a small overdrive pedal that apparently was co-designed with Thomas Blug, which I don't know how exactly that works. and then a looper pedal that was a mini looper that you could do like 2 different loops and switch between them, or you could just do your standard sound on sound kind of loop. The looper was really hard to get around because it was like you got to press and hold and do this, you got to do that, it's got to be this amount of presses on the foot switch. It just got to a point where it was like, wow, I am so confused on how to really use this. The sound quality of the recording was pretty good, but it was so confusing on just basic usage that it just didn't make sense to, actually do a video, because I was, after 3 weeks, still uncomfortable using it. And then when it came to the tube squasher, it was supposed to be like a light to medium gain overdrive, so I assumed it was a take on a tube screamer. But even when you cranked the gain all the way, it had barely any overdrive in it at all. It had a low cut or a bass boost. It was one of the two, labeled one of the two. But when you turned it off, there was too little low end. And when you turned it on, or vice versa, there was too much low end. So there was no like good middle ground. So in the 10 years that I've been doing this, those are the only pedals that I've gotten and have been so unimpressed by them that I didn't bother doing the video. And they had already been really like shady about doing business together, that it just didn't make sense to even bother working with them, because they just they didn't understand how this whole thing works. So, it's unfortunate. I don't like speaking ill because it does nobody any good, but it's the honest to God truth. I was very unimpressed by that. Okay, Aaron, yes, you had a question about that little lick I played in the Pedal Baby video. Here's my little mini guitar lesson for the day. Let me tune up. So it's like nothing that special at all in any way, shape, or form. You can do it in any key, it doesn't matter. We'll go with F sharp, since that's the key that I had in the video at the time. So it's all based around pentatonic and Dorian. So that's your key center. And it really combines Dorian and the blues scale. And it's a parallel pattern kind of thing. I'm pretty sure I was clued into this because it's something that Eddie Van Halen has done in some way, shape, or form before. So it's really just... But what makes it really impressive sounding is when you add a little bit of speed to it. Do all kinds of crazy crap like that with it. It's stupid. It's not impressive in any way, shape, or form. But it's fun, It's a cool little fake your virtuosity. It's a cool fake guitar hack. Hey, it's a guitar hack. Oh boy, what is wrong with me? I don't know. Keep on cruising. Keep on cruising. Keep on cruising. I'm going to try to get through every question that I thought I saw on here. Okay, Ben asked, what was my first video? My first video was demoing my then brand new Rockerverb 100. Since I have version 1, I actually got a funny comment on it recently that I did a painfully long explanation of what the front panel, all the controls do. And I can just chalk it up to being my first time. I thought people wanted that kind of detail, but also I offered a little bit of my insight into the usage of it during that as well. But the amps were really hard to come by back then, and there wasn't a whole lot of information. So I tried to do what I thought I needed to do in order to get, you know, something going. So, you know, whatever. Guys are talking. Oh, Terry Himes was in the house. I missed you, man. Welcome. Hope you're still here. Yikes. I try to greet all of you when you all come in, because what kind of host would I be if I didn't greet you? I think. Okay, good. Ben, you think that the price for the fuzz pedal is fair? That's good to know. Oh, SPJ, you caught me in the process of NAM recovery, then LPD's Vermin, and potentially J-Steen's Ventress. Oh, man, it's yours if you want it. It's yours if you want it. Huh. Well, I certainly didn't think it was I didn't think it was all that impressive, but you know, Aaron, I'm glad you found it impressive. So, there you go. Oh, Failure the Band, Matt, is what you're asking. I have not listened to them. I have not. Jay is asking, have I tried the Boss Next Tone? What do you think about the new Tone Master Fender amps? To answer your first question, because that's the one that I won't raise my blood pressure on, I have played the Next Tones. I like them a lot. I really like a lot of the Boss amps. I think that they are... I love my Katana 50. I love that amp. It's a great sounding amp. It's super versatile. And what I love about them is the fact that they sound so good and they are so consistent. Case in point, the other day I went to Guitar Center. They had an Ibanez AZ on the wall. All the other amps there, I had the ones that were good were still not ones that I would want to try that guitar into. But they had a Katana. And so I plugged into the Katana and I was, you know, really happy. Because I knew that if I plugged into that, I could get a tone that I was going to be happy with and was something that I was familiar with. And even if it was ever so slightly different than what I use on a normal basis, because more often than not, I like to play my Rockerverb. But it's still familiar enough that I would still be feeling like I could take this, plug it into my Rockerverb, and still be happy. But you can't often do that when, you know, you're playing like a friggin', you know, British amplifier and all they have in the showroom is a dual or triple rectifier. And it just doesn't work like that. As far as the Tone Masters go, okay, how about we just address the elephant in the room? Because I had wanted to kind of talk about NAMM, but we're having too much fun otherwise to, you know, really talk about it. Okay, so I got I'm just the marketing speak alone kind of pisses me off a little bit. In a bold Fender first, the Tone Master Deluxe Reverb Amplifier uses massive digital processing power to achieve a single remarkable sonic feat, faithfully modeling the circuitry and 22-watt power output of an original deluxe tube amp. Using a high-performance 100-watt digital power amp to achieve the headroom and dynamic range of a real vintage deluxe tube amp, paired with the pronounced sparkle and clarity of a single Jensen N12K neodymium speaker and a resonant pine cabinet. The result is tubeless deluxe reverb tone, volume, and dynamics virtually indistinguishable from the all-tube original. Virtually indistinguishable. And with all these features, the Tone Master Deluxe Reverb is in fact about only half the weight of an all-tube deluxe. Front panel features give guitarists a playing experience identical to the tube version, including Fender's world standard reverb and tremolo effects. Additional rear panel features deliver modern convenience and flexibility, including an output power selector for full power and 5 attenuated settings, balanced XLR line input with impulse response, cabinet simulations, mute switch for silent stage or recording use, USB port for firmware upgrades, and more. Now, the IR capabilities of this are something that does seem kind of cool. And the attenuation is something that does seem kind of cool. However, I'm going to just say this. That amp is $900. And all I'm getting is the sound of a deluxe reverb. $900. And it's just a deluxe reverb. $900. And I'm getting a digital deluxe reverb. No thanks. I'll save my money. I'll buy a real deluxe. It just, I've said this on other things, and I know I said this when Ben and Aaron were live after the first day of NAMM. A lot of the stuff that Fender's doing in terms of like the new Venteras and these Tone Master amplifiers just seems so gimmicky to me. Fender does this every few years, and I am challenging people from Fender, if they're watching this, to prove me wrong. Because we need to have people like Fender, like Gibson, like Paul Reed Smith. We need these large companies in our industry to be doing well, and we need them to succeed. That's just the way of it. You're just going to have to deal with it. But $900 for a digital emulation of a Fender Deluxe Reverb? Please, I have the old Line 6 Pod in my closet right now that sounds pretty damn close to a Deluxe Reverb. I'm not going to spend $900 on a full bore amplifier that's just going to give me that one tone. If I want a Deluxe Reverb, I'm going to get just a regular ass Deluxe Reverb. You're crazy if you think that I'm going to spend $900 on a digital approximation of one amplifier. Even if we think like companies like Synergy, let's go to tubes in and of itself. The Synergy platform has a hefty price tag to get you started. But when you start realizing how flexible the Synergy platform can be, you can have two different settings of a bassman or a deluxe or an AC or a Plexi or an 800 or a Friedman or a Diesel or what's some of the other stuff they just put out a Dumble one recently. It just seems so silly to expect people to pay X amount of money for something that really is just, we had some digital control of Fender amplifiers in the past, and the Cyber Twins were okay, but this is really, like, as they say, a bold Fender first. Fantastic marketing slogan, by the way. Really means nothing. In a bold Fender first, you're digitally replicating a deluxe reverb. I doubt backline companies are going to replace their twins and their deluxes that they already have with these digital emulations. It's just not going to happen. It's not, you know, and they're silly if they think that that's going to happen. Every 3 years or so, Fender will take their guitar line from their mid to their upper price, and they'll like change around the features, they'll change around the colors, they'll, you know, let Squier reissue some basic vintage stuff, and, you know, they'll call it a new series. And it's like, this isn't that much different than anything else. You know, Jay brings up the point about it having an attenuator. I do think the attenuator is cool. I think the IR output is cool. So having those built in there is really cool. But couldn't we think of a way to maybe put that technology into a real twin? Because that would sell me. It's like, wow, it's a real, like, all-tube twin reverb. It's got a built-in attenuator, and it's got a built-in IR loader. That's pretty cool. You know, the twin is a classic amplifier. The deluxe is a classic amplifier. These are classic amplifiers with a sound that everybody loves. Maybe just add a few other features to it. Just saying. Jay's got another point. Tone Master is way too expensive. A nice new all-tube head, $500 or so. Example, PV Classic 20 head he got for under $500. There you go. Aaron's, they're saying, oh, this way you don't have to carry a real twin. That's your sales pitch? Exactly. That's not a sales pitch. That's a light, that's a light new feature, and it's not even like that nice of a new feature. It's half the weight, maybe. Oh, and Jay's also getting the idea if people buy the Tone Masters, they're going to release more amp models, maybe a Fender Blues Junior. Maybe, but at the point of getting down to the Blues Junior, it's almost like just buy a Blues Junior. You know, the Blues Juniors aren't that expensive, but, you know, they have the upkeep of tube amps, so, you know. Between the cost of these amps and the made in Mexico Venteras, they're bugging me. You and me both. Brian, all I have to say about Tone Master is what the fuck? Exactly. You know? So, I don't know. I like Fender, and I want them to do well. I want all these companies to do well, because that's, you know, that's how I want the industry to be healthy. You know, I work in it, and the health of the industry is the health of, you know, my channel. But it's so silly. It's just absolutely silly. So, oh well. I don't know. We'll see how things go. I like mine. Say that, though. You can't get that from a twin. Can't get that from a twin. I'm just, you know, Fender amps and me and Fender style amps, we've not gotten along really well over the years. Oh well. Anyway, whoa, boy, man, we've been going on about this. But we've been having some fun. It's good to have fun. Man, we've been going for a while now. Crazy. Oh, but it's good. It's good to get this out. It's good to have things going on. Well, anyway, guys, it's getting to that time. I had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. This was good to get back in the saddle. Good to be back. I was hoping to talk a little bit about NAMM, but I'm starting to feel the burn a little bit of doing this. And some of you probably want to go to sleep. Some of us are still in NAMM recovery, and some of us are still in Comic-Con recovery. But I did want to say, from the absolute bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for coming here, joining in, reminiscing a little bit, chatting about things. We are just going forward, doing the best that we can, and hopefully growing this little community as time goes on. I really want to make this year the best that you can possibly have. Doing this for 10 years, I'd like to see, by some grace of God, you know, to be able to reach 10K subscribers by this time next year. If we can make that happen, I'll be happier than, well, I'm not sure what I would be more happy than, but you know, I'll be happy. And you guys will be there, and it'll be really cool. So there's going to be some ways that we're going to be celebrating throughout the year, seeing some different videos that you may not have seen before. I'll dig into the archives, and I'll also talk a little bit about how things are going. And as things develop, obviously there's going to be lots of demos and things coming up. Some new ideas, hopefully making it happen sooner rather than later. In the meantime, you know, if you're brand new, thank you for joining for the first time. If you haven't done so already, please do click the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you can watch all the stuff. Very happy to share with you guys that this Saturday we have the demo of the Earthquaker Devices Life Pedal. I managed to get one from a buddy, and we have a demo of the Life Pedal, and it was so much fun. I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that one. That was such a good pedal. I want one, I need one, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. There's more stuff coming up. We will be working on some new live content as well, some other content. Hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll have a songwriting video up. In the meantime, please bring some friends to these live streams. Share the videos with them. If you have some friends that are into music, into guitar, and they're looking for a new place to come hang out, bring them into the fold. Everybody's welcome as long as they remember to treat everybody as they want to be treated. Have an open mind and just be ready to have some fun. Thank you guys all so much. I'm about to go sit on the couch and watch a few more episodes of Friends. Yes, I'm doing that binge watch right now. Thank you to my mods, Ben and Aaron, the NAMM buddies. I hope that we're going to get some hang time during Anaheim NAMM. Hopefully. And thank you to all of you for watching. I'm out. I'll see you all same bat time, same bat channel next week. Until Saturday, I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Have a good night, my friends. I'll see you next.